Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, and this is my weekly garden tour because I like to look back to see how the garden has grown and changed. So this is the first garden tour of June. Things are definitely starting to grow and explode, and I'm so excited to show you some of this stuff. So I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna start over here today because I have some new things in the ground. I have a zucchini and I have some kind of butternut. I think it's called honey patch. I pulled out all of the bok choy from this area and planted out all of this. There was a little bit question on whether or not things would survive because, as you can see, there are actually two plants right there. And one of them has been eaten because this area was covered with roly-polies and ants when I first pulled all of the bok choy up. So I was a little paranoid. You can see the leaves on all of this, and you can even see the roly-polies just walking around. But I'm keeping my eye on it, and I'm hoping that they mature enough that things just start to leave it alone. But these cabbages are starting to head up and look really good. I think they got they're actually pretty firm right now. They might be harvestable. But the peppers are looking good. We even have the start of a really good one right there. That is the red impact. Some of them are still a little stick-like, but everything is really pulling through. So I'm excited to see where all of this ends up. But I do also want to show you all of these tomato plants. They are looking so good. I can't tell you how excited I am for how this is looking so far. I did have to replace this one right here. It used to be, I think, a flavor grenade, and I put a Logathan woolly in its place. It's not looking great. I think it had been pot bound for too long, but I'm gonna give it a chance. But these guys have gotten so bushy. And it looks like we are going to get a sunflower soon. She is too cute. Oh, and it looks like I need to pull some blossoms off my basil. Hold on, don't mind me as I get distracted. This is definitely one thing about doing these garden tours is I always see something that I want to do in the middle of them, and I try to remember by the time I am done giving this tour and going inside that I need to come back and do it. So if you just see me doing random garden tasks in these garden tours, you know what happened. I saw something, I knew I was going to forget it, so I just went ahead and did it. Granted, from this angle, got a nice view of the root vegetable bed. I have pulled out most of the edible radishes from this bed. There are a couple over here that haven't gone to seed yet, so I'm going to see if they fill out a little bit more, but these are daikons, and they are looking so good. And then these flowers, they're all from one plant. I've just let that one go. Otherwise, most of this is beets in here, and I'm trying to give the carrots a chance, but who knows how that's going to work out. Back here we've got these tomatoes. They're not doing quite to the level as the big tomato bed, but these are also more dwarf and semi-determinate varieties, and they also get so much more heat because of the reflective nature of the fence. does look like we're also gonna get a sunflower here soon, which is exciting. And then I did do a short of planting the second round of zinnias. Some of them have since been eaten by things, so I've lost a few, but the rest of them are holding pretty strong. And then I also noticed these. I've got some straw flower buds. I keep saying that's exciting, but it is exciting. I'm excited for them, but I'll try to come up with a better word. Now this is an interesting bed. I may have overplanted it because I am kind of overcompensating. So we've got these cucumbers that are doing pretty well. These ones, I don't know what's going on with them. And those are the first two things I planted in the bed, and I gotta do some weeding. Yeah, this grass seed is just atrocious. But then I also came and did these runner beans. And these runner beans are doing really well. But then the corners looked really bare because I figured everything's gonna go up. So I planted a zucchini there, a butternut here, and then I went a little crazy and planted another patch of zucchini there. Do I need this much squash? No. Are they gonna smother each other? Probably, but guess what? It happened anyways. I'm notoriously bad at doing things like this where I'm first planting things in and I'm seeing too much soil, so I'm like, oh, I'll just plant a few more things. Nothing possibly could go wrong. This is gonna be probably the most monstrous bed out of everything I've planted. It's going to overspill. All of the vines are gonna go everywhere. I don't know if the umbrella trellis is actually going to be able to handle all this. But here we are. Welcome to my garden. And then across the way, you can see the potatoes are doing really good. They're looking green and lush. And then buried in the middle of it, next to this calendula, I have this little tiny patch of butternut. I think it's gonna be slow for a little while, but once these potatoes come out, that thing is going to explode. And as you can see, my potatoes are flowering. And right behind me is this root vegetable bed. This is a patch of radishes that was flopping over this way, so I just let it go. I thought it was pretty, but it's looking like I've just got a lot of seed pods starting to form, so these might be done, so I can probably pull them out fairly soon. And then give the carrots a chance, because we do have a decent amount of carrots in this bed, which is good. I did want to briefly show you all the vining plants back here. So we've got the kiwi as these first 4 plants, and then the next 4 are all grapes. And I think I can show you on this one. I know for sure I can show you on the other one, but we do have clusters forming. So we could possibly get grapes this year. I have been waiting for this moment for over a year now. So the excitement, once again, is very real over here. And as I'm down here on the ground, I'm giggling because all I can see is all those volunteer carrots just popping up. Might as well just go over to that bed, I guess. So this bed had carrots in it last year, and I let several of them go to seed. And so I'm letting these ones actually fill out along with these ones right here, just in case my other carrots don't do so well. But look at how much these tomato plants are really starting to come in. I think all of the rain and that extra nitrogen just made all of these plants really, really happy. And they don't look like they're on the brink of death anymore. So I think we're actually gonna have a tomato harvest this year. Here we've got a few more squash. I've got a zucchini right there and another honey nut, which I believe is a butternut variety. I do like my butternut squash. And next to it, we've got our natapinos and the nasturtiums. I don't think I've seen my nasturtiums do this well. At least the nasturtiums in these two beds right here, they're looking fabulous. And as you can see, the hot peppers are starting to fill back in where they lost a lot of their limbs and leaves. They're gonna bush out really, really nicely. And I'm just keeping an eye on this poblano right here. Here we've got a couple of dwarf tomato plants, and they're looking good along with the eggplants and this bean plant that just decided to show up. There were beans in this last year, so it's not completely unexpected. And can I just say how much I love this configuration right here, where I have a couple of tomato plants and some bunching onions that look at how thick they are. Oh, I love this variety. This is the Yago. And then I've got flowers and basil mixed in. I love how this looks. And we've got a sunflower head. And this is the first herb bed. I do like to do these taller beds as herbs. Obviously the cilantro has gone to seed. I'm letting it go. I did harvest some cilantro off of it, and I've got some volunteer cilantro that I can pull some from as well. The sage is looking good, and the stevia is actually looking pretty good, and it looks like it's sending up side shoots. So yay! Because the seeds that I did a second round of, none of them germinated. I don't know why stevia is so hard to get to germinate. But I can also show you over here the thyme. This one is looking a little crispy. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry. So I should probably need to come and give this a good watering, though it's been raining for the last couple days, so I don't know why that's crispy. That sunflower is going to open soon. And then here's the second tomato bed that has the combination of flowers, tomatoes, and bunching onions. It just looks so pretty right now. So pretty. Well, it looks like my fancy cilantro has gone to seed. I totally forgot to harvest some off of that before it did. I don't use cilantro a whole heck of a lot, but I wanted to try that one. Well, here we are. This section of pots is looking good, but I want to show you this lovely disaster. You see all of these little babies all coming up right here that I should probably pull most out. These are all ground cherries. I haven't planted ground cherries in about 4 years. They just keep coming up in random places, and at this point, this whole in-ground bed over here is covered in ground cherry seedlings everywhere. I'll get a hold on it eventually, but I'm not too worried about it because most of this area I don't have anything planted. So I'm gonna just see what happens, at least until these pumpkins start to need room. Got a couple of bean plants that have come up as well. I've used beans as cover crops, and so every once in a while I just get a bean plant that comes up. But all of the dill, all of this section right here, all of these over here are all volunteer as well. Except for a small little patch just right about there was what I planted this year. Otherwise, all the rest of this just decided to show up because I just keep letting things go to seed and then seeing what will pop up in this in-ground bed. I let this part grow a little bit wild, and it has worked so far in the past, so I'm just gonna continue to let that happen. Here's my other pumpkin. Both of these varieties seem to be doing pretty well, and I'm hoping, like I kind of mentioned last time, that all of this dill keeps the squash bugs distracted. And this is the volunteer cilantro that I was telling you about that hasn't quite gone to seed yet. So I can harvest cilantro from here. So we've got these pots, they're looking good, along with these guys over here. They're looking good as well. These are my small white pumpkins right here, my Casperita and my Baby Boo. And I did think I saw a strawberry right about, oh, I'm gonna try not to make you guys dizzy, right about there. Now, I hope I can get to it before the dogs do. Unfortunately, last time, there was a big old strawberry that I had been eyeballing for a couple of days, and one of the dogs got to it before I could. It was very sad. And these are my last minute tomatoes in pots. They are looking healthy, especially that one. The basil's looking good over here. Looks like more of these cabbages have just gone to seed. I may have planted too many cabbages. That might be my problem. Oops. Onions. The red ones are starting to stand. I think I mentioned that last time. And my spinach, at least one of the varieties, has gone to seed, which I will be pulling out later. But I do need to come and probably harvest these peas. I've let some of them go a little too far, so they'll probably need to be shelled instead of just eaten like snap peas. And then you can say hi to the dog. Hi, Albus. But he is standing right over top of the garlics and the garlic. I've got some garlic scapes. I can come and harvest those. But I don't think my garlic heads are gonna get very big this year. And I have harvested a few of these cabbages, and I keep trying to nurse that pepper plant back, but it keeps going a little flibberty gibbets on me. And if I can get back behind here, you can see I need to pull some of this lettuce out. But the tomato plants that are back here, I don't know why that one doesn't want to grow. Because it doesn't. But here we are. And this is, I guess, the garden at the beginning of May. Or no, it's June, at the beginning of June. This is the garden at the beginning of June. We've definitely gotten to the part of the year where it's already really warm in the morning. Before I even get out here, we're already in the 70s, nearly 80 degrees, and I don't necessarily enjoy those temperatures, but these plants definitely enjoy it. So if you want to continue to see how my garden grows and changes as the season continues to go on and how things change up as I'm pulling things out, feel free to subscribe down below. Hit the bell to do all the things to get all of the notifications. I do like to do these garden tours about once a week, so I have a almost living record of what is going on in my garden, and I can go back to past years to see how things kind of compare. So this is me documenting everything that is going on. I do also have an Instagram and Threads account as well. I like to take photographs of things I find that are cool or what I'm doing with the harvest and all of that. So you can follow me there if you're into that kind of thing. And I think I have to show you this. I just passed this by with absolutely no thought. But we have a tomato. Ah! I apologize for the noise. I don't entirely know what that sound was. It just kind of came out of my mouth. But I just wanted to come back on here briefly to let you know that I hope I will see you guys in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.